Standard 5.1, Criterion 16, Accommodate learner differences. Use technology to create, adapt, and personalize learning experiences that foster independent learning and accommodate learner differences and needs. In Artifact 9, I use technology to create, adapt, and personalize learning experiences based on the needs of my students. Providing personalized learning experience to my 4th grade students allowed me to accommodate students that are not always moving at the same pace as others. Providing students with personalized learning pathways using various materials, including technology, addresses learning gaps students may have. Personalized pathways also allow the teacher an opportunity to extend learning for students that may have already met state learning standards. This is a personalized learning portfolio I created. One of the standards that needed to be addressed was flexible educational resources. Within flexible educational resources, I highlighted the importance of it in a personalized classroom because it allowed for students that have diverse learning materials. Education is no longer in the times of just using textbooks and doing workbook pages, and students really benefit from interacting with a variety of activities to support their learning. While using this, I was able to create a menu of educational resources that students could use and go to support their learning of a specific topic. For this specific lesson, it was about fluently adding and subtracting multi-digit numbers to solve real-life math problems and solving multi-step problems using addition and subtraction. Students also were able to use technology such as completing WebQuest for social studies standards and also using Scratch to create digital stories with their writing lessons when writing narratives to develop real or imagined experiences. These various technology sources allowed me to accommodate different students and give them all a chance to work at different paces while also still meeting the same goal. For example, with the menu of educational resources, students are able to make a choice of what they want to do. So they have a menu of things, and then students go on and choose what they want to review. So they have various videos, they have games that they can work on, they have adaptive platforms like iReady where it shows you their skills and gives them problems based on their skills. Progress Learning where I was able to assign them a specific activity that I wanted to work on. The majority of this allows students to use their voice and choice. Same here, students were able to choose which person they wanted to work on, and they're able to choose the resources that they want to use. These were all links you could click into for different articles or videos or read alouds that you can listen to find out more about people in social studies. Standard 6.1, Criterion 19, Facilitate and guide learning as students take ownership of their learning goals. Foster a culture where students take ownership of their learning goals and outcomes in both independent and group settings. In Artifact 9, I demonstrate the personalized learning environment that I've fostered for my 4th grade students. Within my personalized learning classroom, students are given ample opportunities to take ownership of their learning and that process. I facilitate data meetings with students so they can set goals by seeing where they are now and owning where they want to go. Students track their progress and check in regularly to ensure they are meeting their goals. Through guided learning, students have learned to apply their ownership skills in independent and group settings. In my classroom, we talk a lot about growth mindset. Students are encouraged to have growth mindset in my class, and it simply just means to really believe in yourself and what you can do. In my classroom, we believe in the power of yet, which means we may not have it right now, but that doesn't mean we won't have it eventually or sometime soon. We do affirmations within our morning meetings. I like for students to set their intentions for the day, and this helps get their minds in order for whatever the day may bring. This also helps with student confidence because they are speaking kind and positive things over themselves. For example, when they listen to this song, it says that my family loves me, my feelings matter. This is really important in my classroom because you never know what students are going through outside of the classroom, so this small gesture can really give them a great boost for the day. We do a lot of one-on-one goal setting meetings in my classroom as well. I often meet with students to discuss their goals. It's not just about what I want for you or what state standards want for you, but also what do you want for yourself. This has been really great for me because it allows students to verbalize what they notice about their data, and it puts them in an ownership role. Not only am I just telling you what I notice from your data, but what do you see as well? Are you growing? Are we staying the same? And then what strategies can we put in place to continue to see that growth? And if we didn't see growth, what can we do better next time, and how can we still find something positive in what we did? So this is beneficial in more than one way. Students learn how to track data, and they are also able to become familiar with the goals that I have for them and set goals for themselves. Although I do have goals that I want my students to meet, I also am sure to make sure that they have some type of goal that they want for themselves as well. These meetings leave students embracing their growth mindset and feeling very motivated. A specific goal-setting meeting that we have is to track our MAP data from the fall administration to the winter administration, as well as the spring administration, and keep track of all that data and make an action plan. We also have fluency growth assessments in my class that we do for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. These tests are timed and graded, but the grades are not put into Infinite Campus. The grades are just used for data purposes and student goal setting purposes, so that students are able to track where they are now and where they want to go and where they want to be. Standard 7.1, Criterion 23, provide alternative ways for students to show competency. Provide alternative ways for students to demonstrate competency and reflect on their learning using technology. In Artifact 9, I demonstrate the use of using alternative formative assessments. I develop a personalized learning environment for my 4th grade students that allows them to reach their goals in ways that work best for them. Students were given opportunities to showcase their competency in ways that were beneficial to their learning style. Students learned to reflect on their learning and began to include reflection more often in their learning process. Technology was integrated in some way for every student despite the differences in learning path. Progress Learning, Scratch, and Google Forms are integrated into student pathways as ways of displaying mastery of learning targets. In my classroom, students have individualized learning paths. Sometimes this is done in small groups, so a small group may have the same learning path, or sometimes this is truly done individually. It just depends on the learning target, but most times we're working on both ways. I co-plan and co-design the learning targets with students. I have them set goals. We complete the #goals assignment where they tell me 3 things that they feel really good about for that particular learning target, 2 things they wish to improve upon, and 1 question that they have. For this particular student, Will, his thing was multiplying. His learning target was being able to multiply multi-digit numbers, and something that he really wanted to do was complete a project with multiplication. So when completing those alternative ways for him to show his competency, I took the topic of multiplication and I created pathways for 2 different students. For one student who is still struggling with multiplication, I created a pathway that still aligns with ways that are best for demonstrating her competency. And for my student who is at a very high level and wants to extend his learning, I created a pathway for him as well. They look similar, however, the outcome is different. For my student that is still struggling, their goal is to have 100% multiplication fact fluency and master multiplicative comparisons. They have an IXL lesson video. They have an assigned task that was created for them within Progress Learning. And then for my student who has already mastered it, they still have goals as well. They want to be able to solve high-level word problems, including multiplication, and also master word problems using multiple operations. They have an IXL video, and they have an assigned task from Progress Learning that was created for them as well. The Show What You Know task is very different for both, but it's still creative, it's still fun, and it still integrates technology into their pathway. For student 1, they are to choose one and create a task for a peer in their group to successfully complete, or take a class from a peer and pass that class from a peer. They would learn from a peer in a blue group and pass their course. A blue group just means a student who has mastered this learning target already. And for my other student, their Show What You Know step 3 is very similar. So they create a task for a peer in their group, but it's just at a different level for students to show competency on their specific level. Or they can teach a class. So in this group, they would not be taking a class, but more so teaching a class to a student that may be on a lower level than they are. But sharing their knowledge and this shows that they are competent in what they have learned. They have mastered that, and they're sharing that knowledge with someone who has not yet. So they are to successfully teach a multiplication course to a peer, teach a peer in the pink group, and make sure they pass.